I'm Beverly.
And I'm Sonya. And today we're dishing with you from the Del Frisco Grill located between the White House and the Capitol at 1201 Pennsylvania Avenue. It is the perfect place to be this summer.
Yes, it is. And look at the spread before us. We have cheesesteak egg rolls, ahi tuna tacos, and this is the cherry blossom special, if you will. It is scallops with a cherry reduction and arugula salad. And then our drinks, this is the VIP.
It's vodka-infused pineapple that they squeeze into this wonderful thing.
I couldn't resist. This one has Jack Daniels in it. This
It's
is
a
the
Tennessee
Peach. And the morning after for our...
I have the morning after, which is a virgin version.
There is no
Come
alcohol.
here for steaks, for seafood, and all sorts of other stuff. And make sure you check out the patio. It's opening in the warmer weather. And today we are dishing with Jason Rosenbaum. He's the creator of a new app called BusTrackDC. Now there's always an app coming out for something, but this one I find really, really useful because if anybody uses public transportation and they have tried to use the bus around here, it can be so frustrating.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that this came out of your own frustration with using the bus and metro system. But tell us a little bit about the app first and why you decided to create it.
Sure. It's called BusTrackDC. As you said, it's free. It's for the iPhone, so you can get it on the Apple App Store. And I decided to create it very much like you said. There was an app that I used to get to work every day. I take the bus, and it stopped working in December.
It stopped working or it just stopped?
It stopped working, so the predictions tell me when the next bus was coming no longer happened.
Okay.
And so I looked around for another one that I liked, something that had all the features that I wanted, and I couldn't find one. And so out of frustration, I decided to make my own.
Now that sounds
Mother
like
necessity.
that sounds really hard. Like, I mean, you're not standing out there timing how often the 38 bus
No.
is coming down the road. So how exactly does this process happen?
Sure. So WMATA, the folks who run the metro, publish this information on the web in a format that people like me, programmers and developers, can use. So I just
Is it true?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
They have GPS. They have GPS sensors on the buses, and that sends the data to their central repository. And then I ask their servers, when is the next bus coming at this stop, and they tell me it'll come. The next one will come in 3 minutes, and then another one will come in 6, and I put that information on the screen.
Why did you decide to make this free? This seems like you could be loaded.
You know, a couple of people have asked me this question. There were two reasons. So one is this is my first app, and maybe I had a little bit of crisis of confidence of how good it might be. So I decided for the first effort, I'll just kind of put it out there. And the second is that it not only is it free for people to download, but it's also free and open source. So that means I'm looking for other developers out there in DC who want to help me make this better. And so it can be a collaborative project because I put out the source code to it.
So when's it going to be available for those of us who don't have iPhones and have Androids?
Good
See,
question.
this is a question I get a lot, and it's one of the reasons I made it open source. I don't have an Android phone. I've never done anything for Android, but I'd love for it to be available on Android. So I'm hoping that there's somebody out there who could help me do that. Who
Some
has a
bus
little experience.
rider who's also frustrated.
That's right. That's right. So I'd love to do that.
Okay, so typically we don't always share good news. We share whenever something's frustrating us or when we're angry with something. So I want to talk about feedback that you've gotten from the app. Has it been mostly good, or does everybody rush to tell you, oh, it was wrong, it didn't come through?
No, it's been really great. I've got I can see my reviews on the Apple App Store, and I've got very few negative reviews, so I'm proud of that. And overall, people have really liked it. I've been talking to, bloggers out there, and I put it on some online communities and things like that, and people so far have found it really useful. So it's great. I'm very excited that it's useful for people.
So what's next?
So next I want to continue making it better. I put up an update today. It'll be available on the App Store in a couple weeks. They have to review it. And so pretty soon it'll do metro stops. So it'll tell you when the train is coming.
And a combination of the two?
Yeah. So you'll be able to see both the train and the bus on the same map and see when the next one is coming for each of us.
So are you going to expand to other cities, perhaps? Is that like the long-term goal?
I've had some requests, and it's possible. It depends on whether the city publishes this type of data.
Right.
And I think it's getting more and more common, so that's great.
Well, it sounds spectacular, and it sounds like something I will use every day because I'm all over the bus and the metro and always trying to figure out when that bus is coming.
Well, let me just ask one more question. What's the difference between calling the number on WMATA and finding the information? Because to be honest, that's what I do. I call that
You
number
call the
on
number,
the
does someone
on the
actually
sign.
answer?
Well, it's automated.
It's automated.
So,
and so
but
a lot
it's
of
like
people,
never,
do this.
hedgy.
I find this, I made it to be very easy to use. So you load it up and you see a map, and it shows you where the stops are around you, and you can click on the stops, and it'll tell you when all the lines that are coming all at the same time. It'll tell you all the predictions there, and you can save favorite stops for easy access later. And the one feature that I couldn't find in any other apps, and this was kind of the really big motivating reason why I made it, you can get a route map. So, if on the weekends I'm going somewhere new and there's a bus coming down the street and I don't know exactly where it goes, I can find out.
As opposed to like leaning in like I always do and say, does this go to Dulles
Yes.
Airport?
Exactly.
Well, that's the best, because we're talking about places to go new and we want everyone to explore the whole city.
Right.
So that is wonderful. Thank you so much for telling us about the new app. We
Thanks
think
for
it's going to
having
be very, very useful. Make sure that you log on and download the app for iOS and potentially Android coming soon, because
Yes.
it's going to be very, very helpful. And you can help us to find our next guests right here on the District Dish. Tell us who you think we should be dishing with on Facebook, on Twitter, any of the social media channels, and make sure you watch us right here on the internet and on DCN.